Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Cachalot from HackMyVm. This is about sort about solid to medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. So I'm starting with my terminals here. I'm starting running a network over my SR 10.0.0.1/24/IT0. I'm doing this, so you get that be the box 10.0.0.4. So I'll do Control-Shift-Z, so we'll do MM scan. So I'll do MMICC for default scripts. My information will scan ports in the IP. Doing this, I'll do my Z verbose. This might take some time to run, so I'm just going to more into scan.txt. Look at the ports. We have port 22 open for SSH. This is for Debian. Port 8 for HTTP. This is running Apache. Port 3000 for PPP. Port 5022 open for SSH. This is Ubuntu. Port 5080 open for HTTP. This is running NGINX. Port 8080 open for HTTP. This is going to be a base HTTP server ran with Python 2. And port 9000 open for HTTP. This is going to be a Golang server, right? Doing this, I'm clearing my terminals here. I'm just going to cat my scan.txt. I'm just going to grab out for HTTP. And now we do have all the services running on HTTP. So I'm starting to visit port 80. Here we do have a Cachalot page here. So I'm going to do control use source code. And it doesn't seem like it do anything. So I'm going to start by doing some manual immersion running GoBuster. So to GoBuster to remote my user into the IP address. We'll do my assembly for user share or list or buster directory list. We'll do medium.txt. We'll do extensions HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Here we do have a /manual page. Since we did see on the mmap scan, we do know this is running Apache. By default, under the document root, you will see that we do have a /manual under the document root for Apache. Next port that we do have is going to be for 5080. So I'm going to copy this. Put this for 5080. We do have GitLab. Next port that we do have is going to be for 8080. We do have a debug server here, which is going to be the host name under /root. Just seem like this is going to be under a Docker container. So when we do get the shell, I guarantee you that we're going to be under a Docker container, right? It's going to be under 172.17.0.4. And we will also have the same host name too. So we might have to escape from that Docker container. Next port that we do have is going to be for port 9000. Under here, we also do have a Docker web UI, which is going to allow us to view all the Dockers, right? So here we do have a GitLab version here, which can be for 11.4.7. So I'm just going to search up for like an exploit for GitLab. And it does seem like we do need credentials, right? By default, it doesn't let us create a user. So we do need to sign in with the valid username and password. Under here, we can start by looking for the documentation. Under containers, we also do have another version here for Grafana for 8.3.0. We can just delete this enterprise and go for 8.3.0. We'll search up for exploit. I'm going to start by looking for a GitHub repository. So now we have two versions, the 11.4.7 for RC, and also we can read files using this LFI. The reason I'm choosing this repository is because I do have the paths.txt, which just gives me the path for this /http password. We're just going to fuzz, and also let's have this payloads.txt. I'm cding into Cachalot. So I'm just going to get cloned under here. So I'm cding into exploit. So do Python 3 for exploit.py. It is asking for the target list, which I'm guessing it's going to be for this targets.txt. So I'm just going to targets.txt. So do HTTP 10.0.0.4. I believe this is on port 3000. We counter targets.txt, run that Python 3 exploit.py, specify targets.txt. And we also do have a secret key. Under here, we do have a payload that I did fuzz for the /etc password. I'm starting running a bin/bash under here. And we only do have user, which is going to be for root. I'm guessing Grafana is not going to be a valid user, or it is a valid user, but we are under a Docker container, since it does have this user sbin no login. That means we are usually under a Docker container. Once we run the box, we can actually see if we are under a Docker container, since we do have this user sbin no login. Look at this. I'm going to start by going under containers. We'll go to this GitLab here. We'll go to inspect. Under here, I'm going to start by doing some manual information. See if we do have any directories under here. We do have a server GitLab config. Also do have the server initial root _ password. Doing this, we do have an LFI, so I'm going to be looking for using the LFI to read that initial root underscore password. And here we do have a password. So I'm going to open my text editor here. So I'll do password. And we do have this password here. Looking back over here, I'm going to go under my Grafana. So if we do have any passwords under here, doesn't seem like we do have any directories or files that we can read. We were able to read that file since we do have the read and write. If I go to GitLab, you'll see that I do have under here. You'll see that I do have the read and write for, we'll do RW. You'll see that I do have the mode for read and write. So that's where we're able to use that LFI to read that password, which we do have for the master root, right? Under here, since we do have the root initial password, I'm guessing the username is going to be for root for this GitLab. So I'm just going to go to root. We do have that password that we did have. So I'm just going to copy. What is in here? We sign in. So doing this, I'm going to be looking at the documentation here for provided by Live Overflow. It does provide a good exploitation walkthrough here on how to exploit this. Under here, we do have this. It's going to be not URL encoded, and also we do have one that is URL encoded. So I'm just going to copy this, go to CyberChef. CyberChef is going to allow us to execute the payload that we want, right? So we'll go to URL, we'll go to URL encode, put this under here. By default, you will see that this is CyberChef is going to URL encode all this. By default, we don't want this to be URL encoded. So we can just copy we can just copy this and put this into our payload, right? By default, we do have this netcat, which I'm going to do netcat 10.0.0.70. My IP address on 9001 will execute /bin/bash. So we do have netcat on my IP address on the port we're going to execute bin/bash, right? So I'm going to copy this. We can save this for later on. What is bypassing this? If I do IPv4, you'll see that we do have the special IPv6 address, which can be IPv4 address that is going to be embedded to bypass this SSRF checks, right? By default, if I do put 127.0.0.1, you'll see that I do get an error. So that's why we're using this SSRF protection bypass, right? I'm going to go to CyberChef. I'm just going to copy this. We can start by going to projects. We're going to do project. We'll go to import project. Go to repo by URL. Put this in here. We'll put this for test. We'll do test. Under here, we can go to CyberChef. Copy this. You'll see this that we can put this. We can replace it till the %0. So go back to GitLab. We can go under here. So %0. We can replace this. %0. Replace that right there. You'll see that now we do have. It's not URL encoded. So I'm starting my listener here. So we can do all our wrap, netcat minus LVP on 9001. Now we can just go to create project. We can just go to test. Go to create project. We can let this import the progress. We can do ID. And now we're going to get. So doing this, I'm going to start by exporting my term as equal to xterm. So do Python 3. We'll do -c. We'll do import pty.spawn. We'll create a bin/bash. We'll do ID. And now we're going to get some sort of running a sudo mycel. Under here, we can run a user bin docker. So I'm just going to go to GTFO. We'll just go to GTFO bins for docker. I'm going to copy this. So do sudo -u, run this as root for docker. We can do ID. We check our pwd. We get our proof.txt. Well, guys, pretty much in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Peace.